Hello friends, colleagues and students. In the last video, we did time and work difficulty level 2 to 3 question by using LCM method, and that question is related to time, work and wages. Now we do the same question by using per unit method and efficiency method. I share the question. One second. Here in this question, we did the same question in the last class, last video by using LCM method. Now I do the same question by using per unit method and compare both the methods. Okay, the question is 4 men A, B, C and D can do a piece of work in 20 days, 30 days, 40 days and 60 days respectively. A and B work together for 8 days, C and D work together for next 5 days. The remaining work is completed by E, a new person, in next 5 days. For the work, they all together got some money, 2,400. How much more money does E get than C? And find the individual shares of all the 5 men. Okay, we do all these things in this class itself. Okay. We are having 4 people, A, B, C, D actually earlier, and A can finish a work in 20 days, whereas B can finish the same work in 30 days, and C can finish the same work in 40 days. So as number of days increases, their efficiency gets reduced, and D can finish the same work in 60 days. Okay, here we have a formula. When A did a work in small a days and B do the same work in small b days, or else in other words, if A does a work in T1 days and B does a work in T2 days, then both A and B can do the same work in T1, T2 by T1 plus T2 days. This is a formula. This is obtained by using per unit method only. The derivation I can do here. One day, I repeat, A can do a work in T1 days, means in one day he can do 1 by T1 work. B can do a work in T2 days, means in one day he can do 1 by T2 work. So both A and B can do in one day 1 by T1 plus 1 by T2 work. If we find LCM, T1, T2 in the denominator and T1 plus T2 in the numerator, and that inverse is nothing but this. Actually, 1 day work of AB is 1 by T1 plus 1 by T2. So it is equivalent to T1 plus T2 in the numerator by T1, T2. T2 work will be done by both A and B in one day. And reverse of that is T1, T2 by T1 plus T2 days. And that means if we multiply this with T1, T2 by T1 plus T2, it comes to be 1 unit, 1 nothing but 100% of work. So T1, T2 by T1 plus T2 is the formula obtained like this manner, but we use that formula directly here. And here A and B together worked for 8 days. So I do here directly. A having 20 days and B having 30 days. Therefore, together they can finish the work in 20 into 30 by 20 plus 30, 50. So 0, 0 get cancelled, 5 1s, 5 4s. So together they can do the work in 12 days, less than the lowest number of days, less than 20 days, less than 30 days. So together A and B together can finish the total work in 12 days, depending upon sharing will be happened. And what about C and D? C and D work together for next 5 days. Okay, we can find next 5 days afterwards, but 1 day work of C and D are calculated now. So C can finish the work in 40 days, D can finish the work in 60 days. Therefore, C and D together can finish the work in 40 into 60 by 40 plus 60, 100. 0, 0, 0, 0 get cancelled. This is equal to 24 days. That means together they can finish the work in 24 days. C and D together can finish the work in 24 days. Now directly we can work out on this. A and B together can finish the work in 12 days, means in one day they can do AB, this is CD, this is E, afterwards it will come. So AB work together for 8 days. So one day work of AB is 1 by 12. And 1 by 12th part of the work can be done by AB in one day. So in 8 days, they can do 4 twos, 4 threes. So 2, 3, 2 by 3, 2 by third part of the work is done by AB during the first 8 days. During the first 8 days. During the first 8 days, AB did 2/3 work of the 2/3 work. During the next 5 days, what is the one day work of C and D? C and D can complete the work in 24 days. So in one day, they can do 1 by 24th part of the work. Therefore, this is 1 by 24th part of the work into 5 days. So this is 5. So they can complete 5 by 24th part of the work. This is CD combination. This is AB combination. Next, now what is the remaining work? Total work is considered to be 100%, nothing but 1. Therefore, E can finish the work in 5 days as given. The remaining work is completed by E, a new person, in 5 days. So E did the work for 5 days. So if we observe 2 by 3rd, 2 by 3rd of the work is done by AB. So remaining portion is 1 by 3 work minus the rest of the in the remaining portion 1 by 3, 5 by 24th work is done by CD combination. Therefore, this much work will be done by E in 5 days. So 1 by 3 minus 5 by 24. So this can be written as, in the numerator it is 3 and 24. So technically we can do, okay, or else in other words also, in the making denominator equal 3 8s. So 3 into 8, 24. In the numerator also you keep 8 here. So this will be 8 by 24 minus 3 by 24, which is equal to 3 by 24. 3 by 24 is nothing but 1 by 8. So we can say 1 by 8th part of the work or 3 by 24th part of the work is done by E in 5 days. So CD did 5 by 24th work. E did 3 by 24th work. AB did 2/3 work. So now wages are distributed in proportion to the amount of work they did. So total amount is 2400 is given for 100% of the work. As AB did 2/3 work, 2/3 work means 2/3 amount of the total wages should be given for AB in AB itself, themselves. So 2/3 of 2400 is nothing but 3 1s 3 8s. So 1600 rupees is given for both A and B. 1600 is given for both A and B. Next, the remaining is 2400 minus 1600. It is the remaining is 800. 800 is to be given to both C and D and E combination. C and D worked for 5 days and E worked for 5 days. But C and D did 5 by 24th part of the work, and E and D, E alone worked 3 by 24th part of the work. So in the remaining 800, 5 by 24th and 3 by 24th, that means 5:3. C ratio is 5 parts, E ratio is 3 parts when we compare only CD and E. So 5 and 3, 8 parts. 8 parts are equivalent to 800. So 5 parts will be 500. See, for CD, we have to give 500 rupees. For E, we have to give 3 parts. Why? Because this is 3. This is 5, this is 5, therefore 500 parts, 500 rupees is given to CD combination. E 3 parts, therefore 300 is given to E alone. So now the amount of wages given to E is 300 rupees. I write individual shares of all these 5 people now. E we give 300 rupees. What about C and D? C and D together got 500. So what is the share of C and D independently? CE completes the work in 40 days. D completes the work in 60 days. That means CD time ratio are in the time ratio is C 40 by 60, 20 by 30, 2 by 3. So C time ratio is 2:3. Efficiency will be in the ratio 3:2. So the more efficient person will get more amount, less efficient person will get less amount when doing in the same amount of time. So C gets 3 parts, D gets 2 parts, 3, 2. So C share is 300, D share is 200 in that part. So I write here 300 and D share is 200. Coming to A and B. A and B work in the ratio. A and B are having 20 and 30 days. Therefore, efficiencies of in A and B independently will be 3:2 efficiencies. Time ratio is 2:3. Therefore, efficiencies will be 3:2. So total 1600 has to be divided in the ratio 3:2, or else okay. 1600 divided by 5 parts, 3 and 2 or 6:4. So 1600 divided by 10 parts, 160. 160 into 4, 326, 40 rupees have to be given to B. Why? Because his efficiency is less compared to A, and the remaining 960 has to be given to A. If we add all these, they come to be 2400. So these are the efficiencies of these are the wages of individual people based on the per unit method. Here the wages gotten by C is 300, whereas that of E is 300. So difference of shares of C and E is 0, and individual wages of all the 5 people are like this. I hope this cleared your doubt by using per unit method. Earlier we did by LCM method. This is the same thing we did by per unit method. This is the comparison, and I hope this helps your preparation. If you like my video, please subscribe my video. Please like it. Please share it. Thank you.